Alright, I am back for the horror. So, I did start actually making this yesterday, and just due to house noise, that video didn't turn out very well. So, I might have to revert a few things. I deleted a lot of this stuff just around here. I didn't really think we really need it just kicking around in the scene for no reason. So I guess I missed a whole whack of it. The other thing I did is I went and got another sound thing. If you go in the asset store and look up sound bits, I went and got the free version of that. It's here, sound bits, just to give us a few more things. I mean, really, you're probably going to be using completely different sounds anyways. Like, I really don't have a lot of good sounds here. Like, I don't have a lot of, door creaks and stuff like that, which would be nice to have, but not that worried about it right now. So I figured we would work on, well, first I gotta find the player, or I can't work with nothing. There we go. So I'm gonna do doors, right? So we have doors, and I pulled them out and stuck them out here just so I can play with them a bit. And the way I like to do doors is if I take this object and I create an empty, well, let's make it two empties. Why not? And I say this one is the door, and this one is door moving, something like that. And I can stick an animator on this one, and probably an audio source. And see, I already had the folder. I already went and deleted this. So if I have an empty and they're sitting there and I haven't moved them, right? I take this door, I'm going to stuff him under that child, right? So now I have these two. Now an animator here. The idea is I can animate this guy, which moving this guy, right? Like he'll open and close like a door, which is what we want. But I'm not actually touching this guy. I'm not actually touching the renderer. So I can take this guy and I can pull him out after, and I can put in a different door or a different door, or put in whatever I want, and I can animate a whole whack of different doors with only ever doing it once. It's just easy. So what I'll do is I've got this selected. I have my animator. I am going to create a closed. We'll say yes, save. We're in the right spot. Okay, so I'm going to just go like that and add property of this guy's transform rotation. Right, we want this guy's rotation. That's why it turned red. Come over here and I don't know, say about there, hit that. There, he is idle closed. We want a idle open. And we will do the same thing, only now we want this guy to be, like, I don't know, like that. Right on the first frame, we'll go over here, we'll key it there, and the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take it like that. Now, you could run just those two, right? And the transition in the animator will do the opening and closing blending, and it'll look totally fine. The issue I have with that is if you want to run certain animation events, it becomes a pain in the arse doing it that way. So if I say opening, if I could spell it right at all, I could say go from, take them from 0, and then, I don't know, we'll say at the 1 second mark, we can do, click copied his rotation, paste his rotation, and there we have an open. Now, again, you could use this to open and just reverse it in the animator and do a closed. But again, due to animation events, I'm gonna actually make an animation for it. Only this time we want to start here, and at that point we want this to be 0. Right, just like that. Now if you want to add in a few things, like for example, like when this is closing, you could, we'll say at this stage, just open it just slightly, and I should probably put the record on for that. Open it just slightly, and I might do a more of a click. Not really. Yeah, sort of, I guess. That might be hard to see like that. Well, anyways, I mean, it's, I mean, you can adjust this anyway, right? Like if you wanted this thing to be maybe a little slower at this stage, just leave them a little more open. Right, and he'll kind of slow in the beginning, very subtle. Lots of things we do are subtle. So anyways, let's let a second. Cat is being weird. So we're in idle closed. We need a bool for is open. So we are closed. We want to go to is open. Now we have a is opening event, and then we can do the exact opposite and go from here to there. This happens. No exit time. Is opening is true. We can turn this stuff off because we really don't need it. So he plays, he does this one, and I'm just going to move him out there. Since we've animated pretty much right to every point, we really don't need blending. So we have, he's closing or opening, he hits here, he's open. We want to go this way. If we get idle is or is open is false, no exit time. And he just goes like that into there. So what we get now, if I say hit play, right, so I should probably come out of full screen mode, hit play, go to my animator, say hit pause, and say turn that, flick it true, and we have that going open. And if I hit, okay, that was super fast. Okay, so open, pause, animator, off, scene. Oh, that was very rough. Very, very rough. Because what do we have here? Where's our door? Near our door. So are you crazy? And let's run this one a little slower. Same with that one. And let's stick him actually down here. Open. And what are we doing? Open, close. Open, close. No, that looks fine right now, right? Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so it's opening, it's closing, it's doing its thing. There we go, so there's a door. So now I can prefab that door. Ba-doop. Zero all that stuff out. You don't want to keep it like that. It could cause you issues. And then I'm going to take this door and I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to take this door. And, oh, I guess we should put some logic to it, eh? So, in this guy, if we hit is opening, let's say right at, I don't know, this point in time, we can do an event. Click on that. And that's a keyframe. That one's the event. So we need a FSM so that things show up. And we're just going to call this one sound. And then we will go to closing. And it's going to go, I don't know, right here. Place him. Send event, we'll do the sound here. So now if I was to play this one backwards, I mean, you'd be going from here this way, right? So that's not going to hit this event until the end, kind of idea, which is why we didn't do the backwards. Which, I mean, you also could do timings and stuff like that on the logic. This is, to me, it just seems easier, right? So if we go into here now and I do a FSM and we create an event called sound and I stick it here, go global, and I had somewhat of a half decent sound. Oh god, where did I put it? More screams. It's like a super old zombie. Pretty sure that's not what I'm looking for. So you also, things like this you can also add in various little parts of the animation too, right? If you have a nice library for sound, adding in that, the sounds that do it, and stuff like that. When you put them in the right spot, it sounds. There we go. Let's do that one. Audio play that guy. Then, it's pretty cool when you start timing and you put in some few sounds here based on different things. It's good. I like it. Lock it a lot. So we have that, and we have that, and we don't need that guy. Right. because we added one and then we added one into the prefab, and the prefab came in, so now we had two on this guy, so we're just going to delete him. But anyway, so this guy needs logic, right? So we need to either think of a way that we are going to alter him, because this guy has the door tag. So we can either change him and put it on this guy where the animator is, or we can screw around with some stuff. So, and I believe okay, just checking something real quick. Send event. It doesn't have a broadcast upwards or something like that, does it? No, because that would be silly. Because I could get root and send it up to root, but well, I mean, you could, but I want to stick all these doors into something to keep things organized. So just trying to think on how I would do that, because we would need to get not the root, but the grandparents, like parent. Works better if I spell it right. So if I send a message upwards, okay, you know what we could do? So let's add an FSM on this guy and call him interact, and he is going to have, okay, we can unprefab this portion of it. We don't need that part prefabbed. So he can have this guy's animator, and we can leave him as door, that's fine. And what else could he have? He could have a bool, say is locked, and that should be good. As now if we come out of here, we come over here, this is the thing we're going to click on, and we have an FSM called interact. That was all about. There. Silly thing wants to be silly. We'll out silly it. Some prefabs are disconnected in pairs because they were modified. What? So, well, yeah, no, you're fine. You're okay, little guy. Whatever. Doesn't need to be sitting there as a prefab right now anyways. So, let's put doors. And we have this door, and he'll be the first of our doors. And we can take this guy and we can duplicate him, and we're going to go from the 180, I'm actually going to flip that right to 0 and drag him. I'm going to stick him here. Okay, now we have two doors. How do we access these doors? We know we have doors have this guy, right? If we get the string of a door, we get at door, it comes over here and we say use door, and it goes away and does its thing. So what I'm thinking is we can do set game object. And I'm gonna bring it out of this because we don't want to build too much stuff into here. I'm gonna try to avoid that. So actually, I did that earlier too, didn't I? Yeah, so here I have, right, so we're going to get the hit object. So we know that we have a hit object. We set our text. We activate our text. I made a variable called door. It's just a game object variable. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, right, because I'm also using it here. Alright, I'll even delete that for the purpose of this. Okay, it no longer exists. Starting from 0. Let's recreate it. We need a variable called door, so we're going to set door object to door. And then again, we're going to copy that. So if we raycast, we see something, we hit the door, we come down, we're going to set door. This is just a loop, and it's just going to keep doing that. If you look away from the door, what we want to happen is that loop goes, well, that loop's going to go this way. So what we want to happen is we're not hitting anything. We're going to come down here, and we want to set that same door variable, but now we don't want to use that. I'm going to use, I created this earlier too, but I'm going to use a new variable called null. I'll call this one null too, because I've already made it once. And I'm not going to put anything in that. It is literally just going to sit there as empty. That's all it's going to do. Then I'm going to come over here and call this one, say, door interactor. And what this guy's going to do is get FSM bool test, and from the interaction we get, or no, we're not doing a bool test. Getting FSM game object, sorry, from interaction to the door. We can save this one as door, and we can get this on every frame. We're going to use a conditional expression. And what the conditional expression needs to be every frame is going to do is we're going to say door. So we're going to reference this variable is not equal to null. And I apparently put a whole whack of equals in there. Let's not do that. So door not equal to null. And that's what the exclamation means, is to not. It's kind of like a reverse things. So if it is not null, then that's a true. If we're true, then we have a door. Have a door. And now we can do that same thing, only now if it's false, we no longer have a door. And it comes over there. So if we have a door, we are sitting here. Get key down, and let's use, I don't know, I guess the E. E sounds good. Oh, mother. E, so we're going to say open. And if we get the open, we need to get FSM bool. Right, so now we're going to try to get well, okay, we're technically hitting this guy, right? He's going to actually be the variable of door. Oops. So we're going to get him is locked. Change that back to door. So is locked. We are going to bool test. Move that down here. So is locked. If it's true, then it's locked. If it's not true, it's locked. Now locked. Not locked. If it's locked, you might want to play a sound here. I'm just going to leave that empty just for you, and it can go right back there. Or you can just go back up. But I mean, if you want to do a sound like it's a click, or do another animation, you know, some sort of locked animation. But if it's not locked, we want to set. We want to get what this guy has as a. He is a variable of an animator, so we need to get FSM object. Now a game object, just object, big difference. So again, I'm just going to drag him in, interact the door, which is the animator. So we're going to need an animator object. And we're going to click on that and go Unity, Engine, Animator. There you go. So we're going to store him as the animator and swap that back to door. Set animator bool. Animator bool needs an object, so we could just do. Well, we could alter that into. Well, okay, well, whatever. We're gonna do it this way then. Let's set property. I've already started down this path. We'll just go down this path. Big what? So set property on the animator. Not the most conventional method. Or no. We don't want to do that. We want to call method on the animator. So we need to bool, set bool. Let's go like that. So we're setting bool. This might be, I don't know, newer stuff if you haven't seen it. So that bool is called is open, and we're going to set them to true. What if it is open? Do we want to be able to close it? Because if we do, then we have to get that bool first. Right, so, yeah, well, okay, for now we're not going to be able to close doors. We'll just leave it like that. Alright, because there are other options. Go in here and just change door from the animator to this object. And then we can use the normal set animator. But, you know, I mean, you guys might not be used to seeing the get the set properties and the call methods and stuff like that all that often, possibly. Alright, so he is animator. Well, that needs to start as off, not on, for starters. And we might have to alter that one door. I don't know why I don't frickin' maximize that. And we come in, we hit E. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what do we have happening? what's happening? We've hit E. It is seeing the door. It's getting the tag. It's setting that. Set game object variable door to door. Oh, Lord Thunder. Totally messed that up. We can't set the game object variable door to door. We have to set it to the hit object. Alright, we're setting the variable, but we're not. We can't fill a variable with nothing if we have nothing to. Alright, so that goes the right way. Now this one's going the wrong way. That might be kind of odd. So the first thing we need to do is fix that, because we can't set a variable with itself. It needs to, we're collecting the variable for a reason. So this guy here, let's just take a real quick look at him. We could negative 180, stick him right back, and then just scale him this way, negative 1. That should just solve that, I believe. We will go check. There's that way. There's that way. And we can't close it. So we'll put that in. We have our inspection, which is I. Is it? What button was our inspection? I totally forget. Why does my inspector have no children? Inspector image. So if we get I, we're here. We're close inspector. No, so the inspector should be open. We should be able to see something right now. Disable the player. We should just bing. This thing is now active. What happened to our... Oh, did I accidentally delete that? Oh my god. When I was deleting those things, I must have totally deleted our inspector. Okay, don't worry about that. I'll build that off video. I'll fix that up. That's just me being stupid. So this chair, I think I actually altered this chair in the last video. Yeah, so I altered this chair. I took away its raycast and distance checks, and I made just a trigger event, right? So I put a sound in, just like the door, right? So as it plays, when it hits this point, I sent an event called sound, just like the door, nothing different. And I set it to a trigger event. And the thing here is I have a trigger-er, and then I have this random. So if we don't get the event random, this thing can't trigger. And I did that because in the future, well, it's not built yet, but in the future I'm going to build a system where, say we have numerous doors and picture frames and whatever kicking around. We don't want everything to be able to trigger all at once, because you run through the level once, it's all just happened, it's overwhelming, and then nothing happens after. So we're going to make a system where we'll put all these things into this one little guy, and he'll randomly choose stuff and activate them. So as you're walking around, oh, this chair walked over, but you walk by his picture frame 10 times, nothing happens, and all of a sudden you walk by it, now it falls off the wall. right? So that's, but all it is I made an event, global, stuck it here as random, but nothing calls this yet. And we have a trigger event that goes to our set animator. And the triggerer is that box. Right, so we have our door, or we have our chair, and he has this triggering object. So I just made an object, child of the chair, gave him a box collider trigger, and stuck him over there. Right, so which, I mean, I can move him up here probably. Yeah, how long has this video been? Half an hour, that's probably almost long enough. So okay, we put in doors anyways, and I'll fix up our inspector because that's crappy. I accidentally deleted that. What else should we add in next? What should we do next? We got doors. I should probably add in some interactable actual items, some like getting batteries. We can fill up our battery life and stuff like that. And we'll add in a few more effects running around the house, and maybe we'll start putting in puzzles and stuff. Alright, so until then, I will talk to you guys later.